Took me a few years.
You took a lot of badgering.
I did. It was every Race to World First event. When we get to the WoW Race to World First and all the casters download Final Fantasy 14
and crush the games, crush the players. We totally wiped out all of the Race to World First downloading Final Fantasy 14. Like all the raiders got disconnected.
We did that.
We got in so much trouble. They now limit our bandwidth hardcore.
Jordan, you might know her as OK Mage is back. Hey, OK Mage.
Hello.
Thanks for joining us. Jesse Cox, also known as Jesse Cox, is back.
We're having an earthquake right now, and it's hilarious.
Is that why your camera is moving?
Yes,
that
if you're wondering why my camera was shaking, I was looking around because the earth was shaking, and that was hilarious. So it's fine now. But
wouldn't it be
LA,
great?
baby.
I'm glad you're okay.
Wouldn't it be great if
Fine.
we all got
It's
natural
just-
disasters that were really on brand in a row? Like we got hit by a hurricane following
Oh
this.
yeah,
and
we had
then
some
the
Valley Garmonda action.
Yeah, and then the Europeans got, I don't know, attacked by soccer hooligans. Like that'd be great. Yeah.
Valgamonda action. Yeah. Soccer hooligans. It was an ad during the phase.
Tell me how casual you are about an earthquake happening. I would be gone.
I've been through so many that it doesn't affect me at all. Like I'm just like,
That's
this is what
crazy.
we're doing, which is probably dangerous. I must admit. I probably should have been like, I gotta go brace on a wall or whatever. No, I was like, really? Okay.
You choose now.
But I'm busy now.
It happens. I was more thinking everything was like the internet was going to go down, but no, we're good. So
all
Cables,
fine.
cables rocked with it.
It's a respectful earthquake.
You just
it was. It was
you
very
gotta
nice.
rock
It's
with
like a little shake. Like, hey man, wake up.
Dude, you're gonna fall into the ocean like any day now. It's gonna.
Oh,
be
I'm
really-
convinced I
Yeah.
will be on my way down. Like, this is fine. It'll be over soon.
Yeah, it's gotta stop.
Yeah. As I sink into the earth, I'll be like, it's
You
This
have
is-
to
this is
do
nothing big.
an Arnie thumbs up if you actually go below the waves. You'd have to do It's the only way to go at that point.
And that voice giving the Arnie thumbs up is Mike, aka Preach, also joining us again. Thanks for coming back.
Anytime. Love it.
Sweet.
Hey everyone, welcome to the Clips channel. Did you know this isn't our main channel? Yeah, you should subscribe over and find our main videos and our streams as well. We also have a podcast that you can find wherever podcasts can be found, so explore the internet. See you there.
I will start by saying I'm going to do a little, I don't know if this is a shout out. I'm going to call out the Final Fantasy 14 creator community and just say, I noticed a little trend that tells me why I know that 7.2 is good. There was a time period post 7.0 through 7.1 where every damn video was why this game sucks and why it's dead and why I don't play it anymore and why this is the worst game I've ever played and why Yoshi P pooped on this game and why Soken isn't trying anymore and whatever the hell it is that they made videos on.
Whoa.
And here's the crazy thing. I this morning saw a video was something, I don't want to give the exact title, but something along the lines of like, thankfully Dawn Trail means I don't have to play this game anymore because I hate it or whatever. And it was 2 weeks ago. And I was like, damn, that might be the newest one of these I've seen. So I went to the video, looked it up, it said posted March 24th. And I was like, curious, isn't it? March 25th, patch comes out. Now all the discussion is about what's, going on with Calyx, whatever his name is. What's, preservation's plan? What, is going on with these jobs? Boy, I don't like the changes they made to this job or that job. It's normal, everyday stuff that people talk about in the community. And all I'm saying is there was a while there that all the discussion was being focused in one direction about how bad it is. And I'm not saying it's because that's all the content that was made, but it kind of feels like it. And so now when people are like, oh, I like it again, suddenly all that content dries up and the community as a whole isn't really freaking out about like the story anymore. Everyone's suddenly like, can't wait to see what they do with it. And it's like, yeah, that was it was going to be that way the entire time. Y'all got real worked up over a whole bunch of nothing. And I'm just going to call them out on it because it was very obvious to anyone who has ever played any other MMO that it happens all the time. And that's just the way it is. And I think there was a weird, look, I was in WoW, not as long as these two beautiful folks in front of me, but all right, I take that back. But admittedly,
what part are you taking
that's
back?
the content creation.
Beautiful?
That's the content creation thing over there too. It's kind of with all MMOs. There is a lull, and when there's a lull, the content you create is like, why is this game terrible? Someone explain it to me. And then everyone explains it to you in the comments, and you're like, yeah, no, that's good. All right, that's my next video. Here's why I think it's terrible. I'm just saying, that's what it is. So I'll call people out on it.
I have a question though. Did you guys get bombarded to make those videos? Because I did. I'm like, no, it's fine.
Oh, yeah.
And people were like, Mike, you need to
You
need to do this. You need to. I was like, no, it's fine. I checked the numbers, and it's like, this is normal FF14 patch cycle numbers. Like, there's nothing strange happening here at all. I'm not saying it's amazing, and it's not Shadowbringers and Endwalker, but like, that took years and years to reach that, guys. Like, that's not going to be what's happening. And people are like, you have to make a huge video. Like, I spoke to Soken last week. I got to interview him. And I was like, you got to bring it up? No, like, it's fine. Like, I'm absolutely not doing that at all. It was infuriating how many people wanted me to make that video.
Kyle, you talk about like sometimes people just need an excuse for a breakup, and sometimes people feel like it needs to be kind of dramatic, and then they need to shout from the rooftops why they're breaking up with something, as opposed to just realizing this isn't for me anymore.
That's the truest.
And going and playing another game. Kyle has mentioned this.
Very wise.
I have been working with this man since 2010. We covered StarCraft together. We covered Heroes of the Storm together.
We've been through some big breakups, is what I'm saying.
We have been through some breakups.
We've got some X's, and we've seen all the talks.
Yeah.
Some people love to make it a little dramatic. You're absolutely right. Like, yeah, you could just be like, we're done. I'm going to move on. Or you could make it a scene. And some people do love to do that. I will say, though, ignoring the content creation side of the community for a minute, there's definitely some things about Dawn Trail that I feel like absolutely there's a lot to critique. And I think all of us here for sure know that there's some issues here and there, be it some of the job changes they're making or some of the the way they do patch content. Absolutely, I feel like needs to change, because everyone who said there was a lull post 7.0, 7.1 agreed times a million. If this is your game, then having nothing to do kind of sucks. I can be over here and be like, I got 80 other games I have to play. Like, this is crazy. But if it's your game, I don't know why they aren't immediately, 4, 5, 6 weeks after launch dropping the big open zone content or the grindy stuff, because that's going to keep people occupied, even though really it's kind of like, I'm not a big fan of grinding. I hate that stuff, but it's something to do and gives people a goal if they're an everyday player and they log in every day to do whatever it is they're doing. Plus they have all the other grinds in there, and it'll feel like overwhelming, and that's what people want. They want to feel like there's so much stuff. It would have helped. But yeah, there's a weird thing they're doing it. Also, I have no clue what the overall arc of where we're going, because I know we were talking about here in the beginning the idea of 7.2 was awesome. We got some really cool stuff, like what's going on with preservation and who's the the background of all. But also, what is the? I mean, if we follow the trend of wrapping everything up in 7.3. I don't think we actually learned anything or did anything. So I don't think we can. It has to go further, but then what does that mean for, there's like a lot. There's a lot of questions up in the air when it comes to the way they're running this expansion. We'll see. Like, honestly, who knows? But I'm excited that I'm excited. If that makes any sense.
You're talking about story-wise there, in terms of beats or the content release?
Yeah. I mean, not just content, but now we're talking story. The idea that usually they'd wrap up the story going into 7.3. We'd wrap it up and then we'd get more for what's coming in the future. But honestly, it feels like a really great way to describe this would be Final Fantasy IX, which is what we're doing, by the way. In Final Fantasy IX, there's a tiered system of villains. There's like villain number 1, who is working for villain number 2, who is secretly working for the other last villain who shows up at the end. Like, oh, which actually technically then another villain at the very, very end shows up. But I 100% feel like, for those of you who know, our new baddie who has his own theme, which I think is great. I love a good villain theme.
Oh, it's a great theme. Yeah.
100% is Kuja. It's very Kuja coded. This dude is pure Kuja. And for those of you who know or don't know, there may be someone else in the background as well. And I definitely think that like that's where we're going in the future. I think this guy with his little pen, his evil pen, he's a nobody. He's gonna be like, you beat me, but guess what? I'm the nobody. Like it's gonna happen. 100% gonna happen. So I'm you know, very excited to see where that goes. But yeah, there's a lot here that rings more like a World of Warcraft expansion than Final Fantasy expansion. That World of Warcraft's like, we're going to stretch the story to the end and then move to the next thing. And this feels more like that, where the main 7.0 wasn't a complete story. It like had a beginning and an end, but it wasn't like, you didn't feel like it ended. And now we're starting to get that ending and it's like, oh, okay. And it feels more Warcraft vibe and how they're doing it. So I expect this to go until the end. I don't think we're going to wrap up in 7.3.
I had not considered that. I still...
Do you not feel at least reflections? That's what kind of what we're looking at.
I don't know.
Pointing over there. Like,
I just...
all these things we've got.
I think I half agree with you. Because I still think we're heading towards more or less the current Sphene Calyx arc that we're now on. I think that's getting tied up in 0.3. But
they dropped so many weird, like, we could answer this next patch, but why would you do that kind of vibes? Like, I don't want them to be like, we're going to pose a question and then immediately answer it. Like, one of the things I loved is they turned a man to sand, I think. Sand?
Yeah, like dust or something. Yeah.
And then you literally just go into a dungeon where the entire thing's filled with the exact same color dust. And I was like, are we getting dark right? Like, what is happening? I don't know. I have no answers for you. And I hope they don't just, here it is in exactly, 4 months or whatever.
Oh, wait, you
yeah,
thought
I agree.
You thought the
I was going
castle
to say,
was
but there's
dusty?
also a couple of things that I noticed that they cut kind of short as well, because I thought that they were going to blame the sentries turning on them on Galudra, for example. And they didn't. They, like, the citizens knew that it wasn't the baby king. And they kind of skipped over that. And I thought that that was a direction that was going to go in, that people were going to turn against the baby king. And then also, I thought maybe they would use Evil Sphene to kind of tarnish her reputation because her people love her. So I really thought they'd use Evil Sphene to completely, ruin everyone's perception of her, make her do evil, villainous stuff. And then she's kind of maybe disappeared now. And I kind of liked her as a character. I liked her sass and I really enjoyed her time. And then there was two things that kind of resolved very quickly that I was a little bit like, no, is that a bad sign or not?
But there's also like an incredibly bizarre line read that I assume is just the line and I'm overthinking it. But the fact that she's like, Calyx, I'm going to let you handle this. And she's like, bye. I was like, that sounds like an authority figure rather than like, I'm your robot friend and you're my master. It was like, it's like a weird line read. She's like, you know what, you can handle this.
I just saw it as like C-3PO. He's like, if you don't mind, I'm going to shut down for a while. Like, it seemed kind of casual.
But yeah, I got it as like an AI that was finished and complete. Her role is done. But I also shenanigans because she left the crown. And it's like,
But the idea that she would say, all right, my work here's done. No, she's like, all right, I'll leave the rest to you, which is a weird phrase for that AI to say. That's all I'm saying. I'm clearly overthinking it, but it's like, maybe there's something else going on here, which is why I'm definitely like, nah, this is our Kuja kid. There's something else in the background that's even like way worse. Also, that crown, I'm with you. Don't put that on.
Yeah, she's totally putting it on though.
Yeah.
Don't put that crown on.
Well, that's a
They're
weird
gonna
one.
be like, you should be our queen, and she's gonna like, well, I should wear the crown. Oh no.
But Shale was cool with it, so Shale's a villain then? If Shale, like, not looking at her and, like, plugging in Christmas lights behind the chair is like, yeah, it's fine, whatever. That makes Shale a villain then. Like, what's going on there?
No, I just think sometimes people in this game are like, don't worry about it. and you definitely should be worried. Everyone should be worried constantly. I was like, no, this isn't a thing. This is fine. You're like, okay.
I was trying to find that line read.
That's something, I don't know.
It's when she's on the throne. And it's right.
I know that what you mean.
She dips and she's like, I'll leave the rest to you. And I was like, what a weird way to phrase that statement. Because it seems like
right? Endless
you would say that to someone as you're like, all right, well, I'm going to go home for the day. You got, you can handle this, right? But you say that to like, hello, my minions. You know what I mean? It's a weird vibe.
You're putting thoughts in my head that aren't there. This is just pure propaganda from Jesse at this point. Then check this line that was in cutscene.
I got that. I think a lot of what you brought up, Jordan, is why I think it's getting wrapped up in point 3. I think whatever Calyx is up to is going to just burn the population and use them as fuel to such a degree that if he's successful, Solution 9 is over anyway. It's now just a giant battery for whatever his plan is, or we win. And so you don't bother with these subplots of trying to undermine Galulja or undermine real Sphene. I think it's moving at such a speed that there's no need to pull on those plot threads.
No, wait,
that's kind of ammo for why I think point 3 is going to wrap up this arc.
Wait, let's roll. Okay. All right. So Shale is full-blown villainy because Shale is the narrator of the dungeon intro. And it's Shale who is like, oh, all that dust. Well, that's just them, making sure the lake doesn't come back because we dry it out down here. Like a Michigan basement. We have a pump that keeps this place from getting flooded. Shale tells us that. And if Shale then tells us later the crown is fine, then Shale's in on it. Shale's a villain. And that's people. That's people down there.
Okay, that's a problem because I already like Shale a lot. And if Shale's going to be a villain, I can't handle how much more.
I honestly would love that, though. I think most fans will be like, no way, it's not going to happen. And probably not going to happen. However, taking someone that fans love and being like, actual villain.
We haven't really had any of that in Dawn Trail. We haven't had that betrayal. We haven't had anything that's gone like, oh, no. Shale works because people really like Shale, even though she doesn't do a great deal of stuff, but she's rock solid. She's like a Y'shtola that actually shows up. That she's good.
Yeah. Y'shtola that actually shows up.
I love how they teased Y'shtola so much, and we got.
I've never had so much blue balls in my life. I don't even care at this point. It's just the fact they keep going. And remember, in the next patch, Y'shtola will be here. She shows up and immediately leaves again. Like, bye.
I feel odd man out on one big cook that's happened already, which is like all the sand in the dungeon is related to the dude that turns to.
That's just a wild theory.
I love it. I love
sand in that dungeon that looks the exact same.
Seems like everyone's into it. Like, Jordan, I don't think you chimed in during that. Do you think there's any connection, or do you just buy Shale at face value, saying it's from the dried out lake?
Chillin'.
I did not get sussy vibes from Shale, but now I do. Now that you've spoken about it, I'm like,
Okay.
Wow,
Yeah,
I'm
how would she?
But I don't know.
How would she know all that?
I didn't get the computer terminal that she's standing in front of with Galulja. Like she read books.
But like, how would she know? Didn't they just discover that was down there?
I think Shale comes swinging in with this is where we need to go. This is the sector. I understand
She's
the
the one who
history of
found
it.
it.
Here it is.
Yep.
Jesse is so full of shit. This is gaslighting to hell and back.
So weird that she knew all that.
I don't think I'm being gaslit so much as I think Jesse just like.
How did she know all that?
Like, really wants us to agree with this theory.
Has anyone touched her?
I think it's hype.
Has anyone is she endless? Is she a projection? Has anyone interacted with Shale?
Does Shale exist?
Look at the shot. Look at the shot right here for the live audience.
You want to touch Shale doesn't mean that no one she's not a real person.
Just
okay?
Continue this line of sus Ellison, man. Just keep it going.
I'm just saying there's a lot that doesn't make sense. And I just want to say in chat, I saw that and it's all I could think of. Go run through that dungeon again. Why is every painting of the castle? Every painting. There's not one person. It's all castle all the time. Go run through that. Look at the walls. It's like 50 paintings of the exact same.
Do you see how much effort they put into the camera work? They couldn't make any more assets, Jesse. They were
Or
tired.
it's
They're
on
human.
Purpose.
Or
Or it's on purpose, and they're cooking. They're cooking. And you're
All right.
falling for it. You're so blind, man. You don't even
Right.
understand,
Right,
man.
Here it is. Here it is. Does that work
some
for you?
research? He's one step away from saying do some research.
Do your research. I looked it up online. There were links on Facebook. They took me directly to the truth, man.
I love this cope because I was actually really disappointed by those paintings. I love the paintings in Void Castle because they're all like ripped up faces, like Beauty and the Beast style. It's super informative, very immersive, and these paintings sucked. So
They were
hell
all,
yeah.
They were the exact same, like 6 paintings repeating over and over again.
Yeah.
And then one painting covered. And when you look at it, there's nothing on that
there's
painting.
nothing under there. Yeah, I did it. Yeah.
All I'm saying is it's a setup, dude. We're being set up.
Love it.
This is from the top
Let's go.
down. We're trusting everyone. It's preservation is one guy online. Nah, I don't believe that for a minute. That's not how it works. One dude is preservation.
That'll buy.
Well, then
Not Shale. Not my Shale.
Shale needs to be someone else because Real Sphene clocked Calyx in a second. That screen turns on and Real Sphene goes, I know you, mofo. Like the second so Shale must have entered the fray
Unless Shale was a little kid when Sphene knew her, and the endless version is the adult version. And also, I hate that maybe the next time we're at this round table and he's right, we will never hear the end of this. Never. Forever he'll be like,
There is no end to my power.
She wouldn't recognize older Shale, but younger Shale, who she did know.
I really
who
wish
she
I had a
hit.
pen right now. Just to be like, yeah.
It lines up. It lines up. We got too many hackers in the room because Ghoul-Ja is going to get a hacking war versus Calyx. And they're
How's
both
that
going to
little
be.
boy know how to hack like that? All I'm saying is there's questions we have no answer to.
He's got. That's actually
Just
has
asking
answers.
questions, man.
He's been studying
That's
his
it.
mom
Asking
this whole
questions?
time.
Just
We're good
asking
there.
All right, I am.
No one's willing to. Why am I the one who has to ask these questions?
I'm making a wager right now. I'm going to make a wager right now. There will be like. All right, Jesse. I am so sure that Shale is a good guy. That if you are right, I will name the 7-3 round table Colossal Cox Cooks.
What?
That's how sure I am that Shale isn't a baddie. She's a baddie, but not a baddie.
I'll allow it.
Okay.
What's the vice versa, though, if you're wrong?
If I'm wrong, it's called Jesse was wrong again.
Nice and simple.
I was going to say Jesse has to come out to Jesse, if you're wrong, you have to come out to the Superior Disney and drink at Epcot with us.
Oh no.
Oh, that's horrible. Wait, do I have to come too? No. Oh.
Yeah.
Please.
Yes. Yeah.
All that booze in Disney. Oh no.
No, not the Brazilian lager. Ow. That's the worst. Oh, the sake as well. Oh.
Jordan, if you want to come too, we can get you cocktails and show you alligators. It'll be fun.
Yes.
Wonderful. Okay, cool. So Kyle, hold me to this. I'm making a
Very
note.
well.
Colossal Cox Cooks. Okay, sweet.
I'm just saying, I feel like
cut off in an unfortunate.
There's a lot of fun room for them to play with, is what I'm getting at. Like they dusted a person and then never brought it up again. So I feel like that's going to have something that's going to happen. And I think it would just be cool if there was dust on there. Now, already, I was wrong. Last time we got together, I believe I was like, yo, wouldn't it be cool if in the basement they find like dead Sphene and the new Sphene is like another clone of Sphene? That is clearly not what's happening. But what if? I'm just putting it out there. What if we get weird?